Hello guys, my name is Ginge. Welcome to the Ginger Show. My name is Ginger. I identify as being 24 years old. My pronouns are she, her. Today I'm going to be doing my makeup, and I'm also going to be talking about various things that have been on my mind, including Elle and their transition to female to male, and how I am an alter that identifies as female in the system, and going through that process of Elle going on testosterone and all of that. So I guess I'll start doing my makeup. So as for my wig, someone told me a while ago to glue this part down, to use Got to Be Glued spiking gel. However, I think that only really works on like lace front wigs, because I tried to use it on this one, but it won't stick, I think because this part is too heavy. So I guess I'm just sort of stuck with that. So I'm going to start by pinning my hair back because I need it back. So I use Maybelline Super Stay for foundation, if anybody cares. This isn't like a tutorial or anything. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that I put on a wig in all of my videos and do all that to make myself look as close to how I feel comfortable as possible. I wanted to say that like not everybody does this. I think that most of the time whenever I switch out, in fact like 99% of the time, I'm not gonna go change my clothes. Number one, because I might not be in a situation where I can do that. Second of all, that would just be crazy. The only reason why I do it in YouTube videos is because I'm trying to look nice and I'm getting on camera, so it only makes sense to do that. Also, this is one of the few places in which I don't have to mask and that I can just be myself. And so because of that, I have the ability to do things like this, whereas in real life, that's kind of difficult for me to do because Elle is a trans man. So it'd be kind of difficult for me to just show up to the function like, hey, what's up? My name's Ginger. Also, I wanted to talk about how I'm starting to use the word parts for myself in particular instead of alters. And that is because recently we were at a trauma-focused intensive outpatient program, and they focused a lot on DID. And they said that you do not have to use the word alter when talking about yourself. You can use parts, you can use any word that really makes you feel comfortable. And I really liked that because I do not really like the word alter for myself. It's the clinically correct term, so I think you are sort of supposed to use it whenever talking about yourself on like YouTube or whatever. But I think that I don't want to be thought of as like this clinical thing. Like me, the Ginger Show is not an educational show. It's just me doing what I want to do. Elle can do the educational stuff. So I like to think of myself more as a part of something rather than an alternate state of identity. I'm just a human. Like I don't know, it just feels weird. Like it just feels overly clinical. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with e.l.f. concealer and the lightest shade possible because we are so pale, which is fine because I'm pale in my head, so. Okay, so that is blended out. So now I wanted to talk about Elle's transition. I think Elle has been on testosterone for 4 months, 4 or 5 months, I don't know. I think 4 or 5 months. And I wanted to talk about how I'm dealing with that. So firstly, I wanted to say that Elle had my total consent to do everything that they're doing and planning on doing, because for a few reasons that I'll explain. I, first of all, am not in the body all the time, and second of all, I don't identify with the body that much anyway. And I can see how much pain it causes Elle to not transition, to where I'm like, please do it, because I really do not like seeing them that uncomfortable. I have been dealing with it well enough because I already felt a sense of like dysphoria, like as not feeling enough like a woman even before transitioning, and it's really hard to explain why. I already sort of processed the body as like more masculine to mine. I don't know if it's because I associated it with L or something, but I already kind of felt like I was masking to be more feminine beforehand. So, you know, and I always thought trans women were like really beautiful. So the thought of, you know, sort of having to be putting myself in that like position if L were to transition to male, and being somebody in a more male appearing body and trying to look feminine, I felt like, you know, like that's not going to be the worst thing in the world for me. And I really relate a lot to trans women. Of course, I'm not a trans woman myself, and I can't like relate to the discrimination that trans women experience, but I more so relate to just like the feeling trapped in a different body aspect of it. So I'm just sort of learning to take pages out of their book. Firstly, my voice is a lot lower now, so I'm trying to figure out like what to do about that. I'm trying to do like make my voice sound more feminine, but it's really difficult because if I raise my voice too high, it starts cracking because our voice is still changing. So, and if I try to talk softer and lift the pitch up, that's more effective, but at the same time, I have to like project my voice when I'm doing videos, so I don't know. If anybody has any tips on that, let me know. So Elle is planning on getting top surgery soon. I don't know if you knew that. I might just be like spilling the secret, but Elle is getting top surgery on December 5th. And if it were my body, I would have kept the boobs, but it's different because I'm not here all the time. And if I'm doing something like a video or something, it's a lot easier, I think, to like fake having boobs than it is to fake not having them, you know? So I don't know. So for contour, I really like shining my face to where I can see like the shadow naturally cast on it, so I can see like where my cheekbone is, and then just like following that shadow. Okay, so next I have this like little brown pencil thing. I'm going to do like a very slight wing with it and go a little bit under my eye with it too. I did one eye with it. Okay, see, now this eye is more intense than that eye, so like I'm gonna have to go back on this eye. Do you see how hard my life is? Okay, I know this looks like shit, but just like wait till I go in with the eyeshadow. So next I wanted to talk about making YouTube videos. I really want to have my own sort of like platform on here, like have Elle do Elle's thing on here and me do my own separate thing on here, because Elle has this like I don't know, they do a lot of like psychology stuff or whatever, and I really just want a space where I can unmask and be myself and talk about the things I like to talk about, and just talk about what I experience without necessarily feeling pressure to be accurate about like describing my experience, because I don't want to be like an alter, because I feel like sitting there and focusing on the fact that you have like a really sad disorder, and I really sort of regret some of the like details I feel like I gave in my Meet the Alters video, because I just really don't want to talk about childhood stuff. I really don't want to talk about trauma. I don't want to talk about, you know, symptoms, you know, like that's not my thing. Like I'm really just trying to live my life, and it's not my thing. So I don't know, I feel like there is just something that can be kind of harmful about just sitting there and dwelling on all of your symptoms all day. And it may be easier for me to say as an alter that doesn't really experience stuff like that, because I am definitely a much more happy alter. I do have experiences with depression and things like that, but I think we all have. But I'm not somebody that's like out here, I guess my job is to be happy or whatever, which is like ironic that I'm even saying that right now, because the whole point of me doing this is to like forget about my job. Like, oh my God. So I've just taken this, sorry, the mirror is fucking broken. All of my palettes look like that. I'm sorry. Shit gets left on the floor. We step on them. It's something, I can't. So I'm taking this shade right here and smoking out my like bottom. Oh my God, the bottom of my eye. And then I'm taking a slightly lighter shade and putting it on my eyelid. So our eyes are like ever so slightly hooded, not very much, but like very slightly. And I like to do makeup in a way that makes that look less hooded and make my eyes look a little bigger. And one of the ways of doing that, I think, is finding where the bone is, because your skin is like covering that, whereas other people will have like just a dark crevice underneath the bone. Your skin is covering it. So I just find where the bone is and I put shadow directly on the bone, even if it's not in my actual crease. That, I don't know if that made sense or not. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of white shadow and put that over here to lighten this space up. And personally, I don't really like to use mascara whenever I do my makeup, because I think it looks too sultry and it makes me look less like myself, I think. And then I darken the shadow on the sides of my eyes. So now I'm just sort of trying to figure out what I should do for my lips. I'm just gonna stick with like the same shade that I always use. This is ancient, by the way. This is like 6 years old. It's not like the most fresh whenever you put it on, but I don't know, some people might think that's gross, but like, I'm not buying from Jeffree Star now. This shade is Celebrity Skin. And then I'm going to add a little bit more like pink to it. I went ahead and cleaned it up a little bit with my beauty blender. Also, more so on Elle's transition, I think my main reaction usually is like surprise, because I won't front for a while and then I'll front and then I'll talk and I'll be like, oh my God, my fucking voice. Or the other day I was wearing this shirt, just this shirt, and I lifted my arm up and I was like, there's so much fucking hair. Anyways, I'm just like, okay. Because honestly, being in this body, I don't have to like think about it that hard. Like, I can just treat it like it's a costume, kind of. I'm not wearing a wig cap because I can't find one, and Elle's hair is growing back, so you can just see all these like little baby hairs, so sorry about that. I think that's a pretty solid transformation. So thank you for talking to me this week. Elle's having a little bit of a hard time right now. I don't really know why, but they are. So anyways, I just wanted to say that if you comment, I will be the one to respond, because I think what's gonna happen is Elle responds to the comments on Elle's video and I respond to the comments on my videos. So it's basically, I guess, a situation where whatever part is making a video, they're like co-hosting the channel. It's almost like their separate channel, but it happens to be on Elle's channel, because this is not the type of show where we are on display to try and educate people. Certain alters don't feel like it's their job to educate you. They're just trying to be themselves. So, hi. Let me know if you want me to do anything, or you have any ideas of like videos I should film. Thank you.
Hey.
I'll work on my girl voice. I know our voice isn't like super deep yet, like, but I'll work on it. And then, yeah, I want to be able to sound really good. So if anybody knows how to do it better, let me know, because I'm trying to learn. So thank you for watching.